Hello. Yeah, we'll just wait for 2 minutes and then we'll start. So, hello guys, we're just starting this workshop. So, hello everyone, my name is Sanjay and I'm from Hindustan University from Chennai. So, let me give you a brief introduction about our workshop. So, this whole workshop is conducted by GDSC so in collaboration of GDSC HITS, BVRIT, and MUST. So, we all are coming from three different states. So, some of you might be coming from Rajasthan, some of you from Hyderabad, and I'm from Chennai. Few of us from Chennai. So, having a big collaboration, especially for this Flutter Festival. So I think by this time you have little bit great idea about the Flutter Festival. It started all from the last one and it's ending this one. And we have conducted three workshops for before this week. I started with the what Flutter actually is. Then we have learned the last session about what Dart is, about Dart basics, and then now we are starting with the UI part. So I think by this time you have a great idea about understanding about Flutter. So speaking about the collaboration, so just let me just welcome two of my friends from the different GDSCs, Amrita and Shravya. We have worked together. We have put a lot of efforts for making all this content, for making all these apps, for doing all this coding work. We had fun together. We did a lot of part just for all of you, just to sharing the values to all of your lives. And speaking about today's session, we'll start with the basics of Figma. So I think by this time you know what Figma is. If not, then let me give you a little bit introduction about what Figma is. So Figma is a web-based application. So you guys might have been using Canva for doing your college projects for making presentations. Figma does the same work. It's almost using Figma is almost same as Canva, but Figma is basically used for mostly used for UI designing. So UID or user interface designing is what to making a front page, or just like it's just making a front page of your assignment, just like a front page of your assignment. But UI design is the part where the users directly interact with the system. So we need before we handle a project, we need to make a UI design first, just like a blueprint, so that we will know all the buttons and all the things, logos, where everything will be placed, and then we'll be making the features part. Then we'll go to the coding part. The UI designing have helped in many projects. For example, like if you just take any web-based application, if you take Amazon or anything, if you just make a UI first, we'll have a blueprint of these are the things that we need to do, and this is what we can this is how we can improvise. So UI help us in a lot of many ways, and by the current technologies like Figma, we can actually make a whole prototype of an mobile application just in Figma. So even though if you are someone who don't like coding, but you want to do something, you want to get into this web designing field, you can just learn Figma or UI designing. Something like this can help you to ace your careers. And today, as we are part of the Flutter Festival, so we'll be making an app of our own. We're making a quiz app. So before making an app, why don't we just start making a UI design for our app first? So I hope all of you are excited, and we will just start getting ready with the how to make your own UI design. Most of you might be doing your first Figma design. So let's start. So you can just take a pen and paper with you, and you can just draw something like an app that you want, something that you have in your mind that okay, this is the first page of my app, this is the second page, and this third page. So I'll be sharing my screen. I'll be showing you my drawing that I've made, and please don't make fun of me. I know I'm not a good artist. So yeah, let me know if my screen is visible. Okay. So yeah, please don't roast me. So this is what I have designed. This is just a basic quiz app that we're making. So as you can see, this is the first login page. So we'll have a logo, we'll have a sign up button, and we'll have a sign in button. So as soon as you click on this sign in button, you will go to the second page. So basically for quiz app, what I decided that there will be a logo somewhere here, and then we'll provide them the topics. So topic, it could be like Flutter, it could be HTML, it could be CSS, different coding things. That will be the option. Whatever user want, he can choose from there. And as soon as he click on the next button, we'll come to the third screen. So third screen is where we have a question. We'll have four options, and at last we'll have a submit button. So this is a basic drawing I've made just to know that this is what I'm going to do in my UI design. So now, how can we do the same thing in Figma so that it looks little bit more presentable, and fellows like me who don't know how to draw, we can also do something like this. We can also get to redesign. So don't worry, guys, I got your back. So let's do it from scratch. So I'll be sending you the link for Figma. Just a minute. Yes, you can just see in your chat. I have sent the link for Figma, so you can just work with me. Okay, I'm just sharing my screen again. So are you able to see my screen now? Is Figma visible? Figma window? Are you able to see my screen? Hello? Yeah. Thanks, Ravya. So this is what you will get when you open Figma. So I want you to click on new design because we're getting a whole new design. And this is somewhat Figma looks. I know it looks little blunt now, but we can make it look more colorful later. So first, what I will do, I will add my pencil design, what I have drawn in my note. I will bring the Figma here so that I can just easily work on it. So yep, you can just directly drag and drop the files here. It's one convenient thing. I took the file and I dropped it here. So I think you can see this is my file. Let me zoom out a little bit. So this is the drawing that I have made, and now by seeing on this design, I can just make a UI design in Figma. So this is one convenient thing. Like developers, they prefer to draw a note first on any on roughly, and then they can just directly put this thing on Figma, and they can just work side by side. So let's start by making the first page, the login page. So what we can do is, like, we have pretty much many different shapes here. So we'll select the rectangle one, and now we can just like if you remember the Microsoft drawing paint thing that you've been using, it's just the same as that, but you need to be make sure you need to the pixels correctly. So before this, I have checked the pixels. So I think I will be going with uh, it's going to be 375 for my width. So this is I think I'm taking for iPhone SE pixels. So this should be the pixel size. Yeah. So I've set the pixels. So now I need like three of the screens. So I'm just gonna copy paste. Is the same thing. We can just copy paste this thing. Control plus C and Control plus V. So this will be the three different screens that we're gonna have one by one. We're doing the one by one. So we'll start with the login page. So the screen is ready. So we'll name the screen as screen one. Okay. So we'll write it as screen one. I hope you guys are doing parallelly because it's actually a lot of fun. Actually, if you can remember childhood when you are doing the paint and stuff, it's as same as that. So yeah, it's very easy and it's very interesting. And the more you know about it, the better things you can do. It actually helped me in making some projects, also web projects. I'll be showing you later after this. Let's pull this thing. All right, this is my screen one. And now what I'm be doing, okay, let's put it forward here. So what I'm doing, I will be adding the logo in the center. As we can see in this first screen, we'll have a logo. So we'll take the same rectangle, we'll add it somewhere here, and we need to have a different color to highlight this logo. So from here we can just change the color. So I need something little darker. Yeah, this is fine. So I think this is the perfect here. This from here, as you open the app, you will have my logo here. So I will be writing logo as a text here. You can actually directly put logo also, but for now we're just doing it lamely. So I will just change the color to white, text color to white. Yep. We'll increase the size also. I hope it looks good now. So this is how a logo will be. And now we'll have an option for sign up and sign in. So we'll have a different, we'll use something little ovals for showing the login page, sign up and login options. Yep, we'll change the color. We'll keep the same color as the logo. And this is our sign up button. And below it, we'll have our login button. So Control plus C and V will copy it. So with the one is logo, one is sign up and sign in. Let's add the text here. We'll, we don't need this thing to be in bold letters. We'll add normal. And we need less size, so we'll keep 13. Okay, this is not visible. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. And we will change the text color to white so that it's visible. The same thing we're going to copy and do the sign up page also. So this is our login page. So we have created a sign in and sign up option. So as soon as you click on these options, we'll reach to the next page, our screen two. So here we draw an arrow and we'll just name this page as screen two. Yeah. So as you can see in screen two, first thing we need to mention there will be topics. So as you click on sign option, you will display the topics here. So first we'll give a super heading as topic. So we'll keep somewhere in between a topic heading and we'll keep this thing in white. Yeah. We'll mention something as choose the language. Because we are going to work with the coding language, so we'll give an option, choose the language. And next, what we're doing is that we'll be displaying the topic. So there will be different buttons here. So one, and we'll also keep it as white. And we're going to duplicate the same thing. In case if you have a question that instead of this plain colors, can you use colorful things? Yeah, you can. But I like to keep things little simple for this session, and we'll be showing the prototyping part in the next session. I'm just keeping it as plain colors. And now what we can do is like we'll be adding. So as soon as you click in login page, you will come to the second page. So here we have an option, choose the languages, and we'll quickly keep some languages here. So first, I think I'm gonna go with Flutter. Oops. Okay, I like Python more, so I will go with Python. Sorry, Flutter. Next, we're gonna add. Let's add Dart. Next option, I'm gonna go with Flutter. And last, and all of our favorite HTML. So these are the options. So I will just correct the alignment quickly. So this is our second screen. So we are done with two screens, and now we have to go with the third screen. So I'll just make an arrow that arrows just show these are directions of our sequence. And if you have like more screens, then arrows actually will play play a useful role. Next, so the next it will start with asking a question. So we'll keep a question tab here. So let me add question frame here. Yeah, because question will take a lot of space, so we'll keep do it as some more space. I think this much is fine for question. In case like the question have some diagrams and all, so we'll consider those space. We'll keep it white. And now we'll have option A, B, C, D, E, and a submit button. All right, so we'll keep a small place for option because we need to add many things here. We'll keep it white. So these are the three options, and but we do need to have an option for submitting the answers. So we'll keep it here. This will be submit button, and we'll also keep an option just to in case if somebody want to check the previous question. Yeah. It's better if both of these have the same size. As you can see, you're able to check the distance, you're able to check the corrections, the alignment, and all. This is one good thing about using Figma. So because it have like a lot of automations in it. So now this is our question part, and this is where we have options, and we'll just write it. We'll add some text here. That this is our submit button, and here we'll add the previous question. Yep. So let's correct the alignment first. All right. So this is what the end result we get. So all started with our first login page. I think it will look better if I just keep this page on white. Yeah. No, I know like you might be thinking it looks very plain, but this is something that it takes little time of doing things, and basically you can add more creation here, but I have little less time, so adding too much creativity is not possible. So I think you like the UI design that I have made, but one design like I have made it before. I will be showing you this. I will showing you now. Are you able to see this design? Is it visible? The second formation. Hello. Are you able to see this UI design for the website? All right, so I'll zoom in a little bit. Yeah, thank you. So this is one that I've did previously. So you can see there are so many elements that I have given here. It all started with making a slide, first slide of the first page of the website, the second, the third, the fourth. I have added so many things. So this was just for a tourism website. This is the power of Figma. Like I can literally just make a duplicate website. If I wanted that, instead of writing things, I could directly paste it the photos. And now I just want to look at how actually my UI design going to look in an actual website. So we can actually present this thing, and we can just see how it looks. Yeah, this is if you can see, I've projected my website. This is something that Figma allows us to do, and this is how my website might look if I have to use the same UI design. This is the beauty of Figma. And you can see there are many alignment that I have not given properly. So I can just identify my mistakes just from Figma, that okay, this alignment is not correct. This pixel size is too much, and I need to work on it. So this is the positive of using Figma. And this is the design that I have just made in front of you by using Figma. It's very easy. It's just like paint and tool. So yeah, guys, this is from my side, and you can just go on doing. You can do a lot of stuff. In the next session, we'll be showing you the prototyping thing that will give you a better idea that what are the actual superpowers of Figma. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
everyone. So I am Amrita Mukherjee from GDSC MUSD. So next what we are gonna see is how to build your first Flutter project and how to collaborate using GitHub and also how to connect your Flutter with Firebase so that you can do authentications in real time. So as you all know, let me give you a little bit introduction about Flutter. Flutter is a cross development platform in which it is a single platform where you can create apps, websites, or anything else that you want to create for multiple platforms, be it Linux, iOS, Android. So it's like one platform and a variety of code bases. So I'll start by showing you how you can create your first Flutter project. Okay, so how many of you have already installed Flutter? Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Okay, so today I'll be showing you how to do it with Visual Studio Code. You can also do it with Android Studio, but since Android Studio is a really heavy application and it takes away a lot of RAM, so generally VS Code is preferred, although installation using Android Studio is a little easier. So basically, I'll show you through Visual Studio Code. What I'm gonna do is I'll open command palette and then Flutter new project. So there are four options. We'll go with application because it is a basic framework, a basic structure of our Flutter. We select the folder. Now make sure that there are no spaces in the name of your Flutter application. I'll name it as practice 2 and enter. It will take a bit of time since it will install all the packages and the application means the files that are required for the application. Give me just a minute, guys. So as you can see, the Flutter is installed and all the packages, all everything, all the files that were needed, and the files such as pubspec.yml that Shravya had mentioned, everything is installed. So when it is installed, the first file that opens is main.dart. It's the file from which all the other application screens are accessed. So like we have an index in HTML files, the same way this is the main screen of the Flutter. I'll walk you through the other folders and packages. So Dart.tool has information about the Dart version and the packages. So as I mentioned, Flutter is a platform where you can create web applications or Android or iOS applications, mostly mobile applications, using just a single code base, and that will be converted, or that will work on all the platforms like Linux, iOS, Android. So how does that work? As you can see, there is a folder called Android, a folder known as iOS, there is web, and there is Windows. So these are the platforms. You can add more platforms like Linux and all. So in Android, you can see app gradle, and these are all the codes, all the files that are needed to run an application on an Android platform. So what Flutter does is whatever code we write in the lib folder, the main.dart and all the other screens that will come, all the codes are translated in such a way that they can be accommodated or they can use the Android platform. Same is with iOS, web, and Windows. Also, one thing that you need to keep in mind, that for running the code base on iOS, yeah, what you have to do, what it is necessary is you need to have a Mac. Otherwise, you cannot run the iOS part. So basically, we will be running the Android part. Let's run the main file and see what's the output. So we'll press F5 for debugging. The first debugging takes a little bit time, but what is the best feature of Flutter is hot reload. After you make changes in any screen or any line of code, hot reload automatically shows the output, the new output on your screen. It reflects the new output on your screen without you having to build it repeatedly like you have to do in Android, say only Android applications or only iOS applications. Today we will not dive much into the coding part because that we will cover in another session. I'll just give you an overview of Flutter and how we connect it to Firebase and GitHub. So the default device that it uses is Chrome. You can also connect physical device, and physical device is preferred over emulator because emulator takes up a lot of RAM and makes your system slow. So for setting up your physical device, what you have to do is you have to go to your setting. Okay, so our main dot dart has been debugged. So this is the default screen that we get when we install the Flutter application first time. So what it says that you have to push the button this many times. If we click plus, we can see that the number of times we push the button, the number of times it reflects here. So now let me show you how you can connect your Flutter project with the GitHub. So Visual Studio Code has a very nice feature which is called source control. So with source control, you can directly publish your project and initialize repository onto GitHub without doing much hassle. So we'll initialize a repository. So why should we put our application or our Flutter application on? We'll stage all the changes, write a commit message, commit. So why should we put our project on GitHub? First reason is collaboration. Since Flutter is used to create very large applications, so it is not possible for a single person to create. So there are basically teams that create the project will publish the branch. You can either choose a private repository or a public repository. I'll go with a public repository. And then second is that your project will be safely stored on GitHub. So in case there is some problem in your code and you want to revert back to a previous state of the file, then you can just download from it and you'll get the previous state. So let me open GitHub. As you can see, the repository has been created. Now how do we collaborate with it? We go to settings, we go collaborators. Here we invite people. So now, Sanjay, have you received any mail regarding the invitation?
Yes, Amrita, I just received a mail from you.
Okay, so when Sanjay will accept, it will be shown here that since it's a pending, it will be shown here as accepted. And what Sanjay will do is he will clone the repository. So how will you clone? First, we'll use command palette. We'll use git clone. So it will provide ask you for URL or pick a repository source. Clone from GitHub. So since it was a public repository, so you can see it here. But in case it is a private repository and still you want to give access, and so what you'll do is you'll go to code. Here we'll use this HTTPS link, and you have to select a folder. And as you can see, it has been cloned. Let us make some changes in this and then update it on GitHub. So here you can see colors.blue we'll change it to color.green. And now you can see the source control tells that there is one pending change. It also tells you the file where you have made the change. So what you have to do is you have to stage the changes. And now we'll write a message. Now we'll perform hot reload. And as you can see, it has changed to green. So this is what I was telling you about the advantages of hot reload. Now if we change it to red, we do hot reload. You can see it immediately changes within a few milliseconds, and you don't have to build your project multiple times. So do you have any questions until now? Are there any doubts? Okay, so since we are not diving very deep into code today, I'll continue with Firebase. So what exactly is Firebase? Firebase is like a NoSQL or SQL database that was developed by Google, and it has multiple purposes because see there's a demo project where there is an option for Android, there is option for iOS. So when we'll add projects, I'll show you there are many more options. So what you have to do is first you have to go to console.firebase.google.com, and then you have to sign in with an ID. You have to create your account, and after that you'll go with add project. So enter your project name. We'll give it as practice 2. Now we'll continue. So to avail all the features of Firebase, you have to do this enable Google Analytics. What Google Analytics does that is it has a variety of purposes. First is like it can tell what type of users or what users from which region are coming to your or visiting your website or your application. So it gives you an analytics so that you can make your product better. It also gives you a crash free users. What this means that it can tell you which part of your screen or which part of your web page is crashing so that you can improve that part. There is alpha beta testing, so you can do different type of testings before you launch your product in the actual market. So we'll do continue, select an account, default account for Firebase. The project is created. So this is the console of your project on which we are gonna store our database. For example, when we do login or sign up screens, we store our database here so that we can authenticate. And there are various types of authentication provided by Firebase. We'll see that a little bit later. So Add an app to get started. So what type of app are you building? If you're building an app that is targeted for iOS platforms, then you create this. Since we are creating apps targeted for Android applications, so we'll select this option. There is also web page, and then there is Unity. So there are variety of options from which you can select based on what your platform is targeting. Okay, so Android package name. For Android package name, what you have to do is open your VS Code. You'll go to Android app src main and Android manifest. You can see the package name here, com.example.practice2. Just copy it from here. So we have added the package name. We can write a nickname. We'll just write it as PR2 for now. SHA1 certificate is optional. For this, what you have to, when is this required? For dynamic links and Google sign in or phone number support and authentication. So how you have to edit? You have to go here and you have to go see this page, and accordingly you'll have to copy and run it in the terminal based on if your platform is Mac or if your platform is Windows. We'll not dive deep into this today. So we'll register our app. Next, we'll download this folder. We'll drag it and place it in main. Not in main, we'll shift it to, and then we'll rename it. Okay, so our JSON file has been set. Now there are multiple lines of code that we have to add. So first we'll go with project level build Gradle. So this is the build Gradle. And then you have to check, it says check if it is present, Google is present in repository. As you can see, Google is present. Then it says to add one line in the dependencies. So we'll just add that line. Next, for all projects, again we have to check if there is Google added or not. So as you can see, Google is added. Now for app level build Gradle, we have to add a few lines. So we'll go to app src main. So just a second. Sorry for the disturbance. So we'll go. So now it says app level build Gradle. So we go to app build Gradle. There is apply plugin, as you can see. One more plugin that we have to apply is this. So we'll apply the plugin. Then in dependencies, we'll add some more dependencies. What dependency is that they are packages that we import. Like in this, we are importing for Firebase package so that we can use those packages in our program. Okay, so now we have added the dependencies. So it says that add the dependencies for any other desired Firebase products. Since we are doing authentication here, so we are an analytics, so we are putting the dependencies that are related to analytics and authentication. There are other works and other features of Firebase, so you can add the dependencies accordingly. So now we go for next. Continue to console. So next what we are going to do is authentication. But before authentication, what we need to do is we need to go to pub.dev and add two packages to our code, that is Firebase core. So what is a Firebase core? It is a plugin to use the Firebase core API which enables connecting to multiple Firebase applications. So we'll copy it from here and go to pubspec.yml because all the dependencies and all the packages are there, and we'll copy it. And now since we have brought the Firebase core, so the core package helps us to connect with the other Firebase applications and other Firebase. For example, authentication, I will do Firebase auth. What it helps us is it is a plugin that we use with authentication, be it email or